Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day, 400 of confinement cooking. Or as my niece Jessica Johnson wants to title my show, Cooking Should Be Fucking Fun. And quite frankly, I think that's a very good idea. Great title. We're going with that from now on. Today we're going to cook something awesome, but I thought I would take this opportunity, since I have your attention, for a public service announcement. I made a mistake yesterday and turned on the news. I'm staying in touch, of course, but I'm not obsessive about it the way I was in the old days because I just want to jump off the highest building. But what I heard from one of the doctors, whom I trust, is everybody should be wearing masks. Whether you have the virus or not, it couldn't hurt. We don't want to use surgical masks because they're in such short supply, so make your own. I've been trying to come up with some wonderful ways of making my own masks just when I go in and out of the house to a store or whatever. And I usually use a paper towel and 2 rubber bands, and it's fine. But I heard something today from one of our Italian brethren, which I thought was the most clever thing. And this is something most of you have in your house already. If you're like me, a 65-year-old woman, you can't hold it the way you used to be able to hold it when you were a kid, right? So most of you have what I refer to as a laughing pad in your home, which I have. So I thought this was clever as can be. If you have daughters, if you're still young enough to have your period, you got this shit at home. So get yourself one of these laughing pads, right? This is genius. I'm telling you, it's genius. You open that sucker, you take off, of course it must be one with wings. And you open it up like this, right? This is so smart. And you go, bada boom, sticks to your face. Put it here, and you go, and that looks like a smile. Wait, I did it off the, all the drape. Hold on. There you go. Perfection, right? This is so smart. We all got to do whatever we got to do. Got it? Okay, moving on. Okay, I'm calling today's recipe cauliflower cake and regret. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is a marvelous recipe. It's a cake. We cook it in a bundt pan. We use sweet ingredients, but the basic ingredients are this. Corn on the cob, I'm going to explain that to you. A red onion cut very small. Mushrooms cut very small and cooked. To that we add parboiled, par-cooked, blanched, as we used to call it, cauliflower florets, which I made last night. You cook them so they're still a little tough. And then I'll show you what we do from there. Okay, I've coarsely chopped up those mushrooms, and I'm going to add to that some, some rosemary. Fresh rosemary. I can't believe I found fresh rosemary in the store. You can be generous with this. We're going to cook it a little bit. Whatever. Throw it in. This is what Italians do. We just throw everything in the pot. We don't care. Everything's going to add a nummy texture. And I'm going to set that to cooking, of course. I said this way. I hate when the robots don't listen. Eesh. Putting some oil in the pot as per usual, because that's what we do. And then we're going to put in there, all these great ingredients. I could move my camera, but I'm home alone, and I can't do everything at once. Put all your good stuff in there. Fuck it. Use your hands. Get it in there. Right? You notice it makes a pretty big pile of food right now. This is all going to cook down. Okay? Let's go. Get that going on your stove. We're going to cook this all down. We're going to add salt, this much. Pepper, which I keep right here. We're going to put this much in. The point I'm making is do whatever you want spice-wise. More is better. there are no rules. So in this pan we have red onion, sliced thin, mushrooms, which are so good for you. My sister Candy tells me you should be eating mushrooms every single day at some point, because they're very good. So mushrooms, onion, fresh rosemary, salt and pepper. Fartik. Fartik is Yiddish for enough, finished, done. Okay, now let me show you what we do with the corn. Okay, I'm shucking the corn, and I forgot to tell you, I'm adding about half a stick of butter to the mushrooms and the rosemary and the onions, because butter's just nummy. So what you do with your corn, shuck it, obviously, rhymes with. Shuck your corn, make sure it's fresh corn. Hopefully this is. I just bought it this morning. All right. Keep your kitchen clean, remember that. Put your shucked corn in this little air fryer tray. Let me explain this to you. Cramp timing. Okay, I shuck the corn, and then I'm going to take a cooking spray and just give it a little zhuzh, right? A little salt, a little pepper, and then turn it around and do it again. A little zhuzh, salt, pepper. I'm going to put this in my air fryer, which is one of the best things I ever bought. Later I'm going to do a show about chicken wings that are fried air-wise that my friends can't get enough of. So I don't know who makes this one. I absolutely love it. I'll find out who, and I'll send a link to you. So you put that in your air fryer. You don't need that one. And get it in the hole. It's been a while. And you turn it on, and I put it on the French fry setting. There's a French fry setting. Can you believe it? This will cook for about 20 minutes, and the corn will come out salted and peppered, juicy as can be, very fragrant with those little brown bits on the. It's just beautiful. This is going to make a big difference to your cauliflower cake. So that's where we are so far. Now, I suspect there may be one or two of you out there that have a real hard-on against vegetables. That's just because you never cook them right. You have to cook them right. So I find that even if you're having trouble getting the kiddies to eat cauliflower and onions and mushrooms and all the things that are good for you, hide it in a cake and lie to them. Don't tell them what's in it until after they love it. If anything is served to these children in a bundt presentation, what's not to love about that? So I'm just saying, if you have to lie to your kids to get them to eat right, the hell do I care? They're not my kids. Do that. I wish you could smell what's going on in my house right now. Heaven on earth. All right, the onions and the mushrooms and the rosemary and the butter and the oil, not a calorie to this, are cooked and glorious and beautiful, and it cooked down to about this much. So now you need to cool this down a little bit. So I just tossed the whole thing into a big bowl because we're waiting to add other ingredients to it. So if I spread it out of the bowl like this, it'll cool a lot faster. Right? Nummies. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. The corn is cooled now. It comes out looking like this, and you cut that all off the cob. I don't know why this is better than anything you can get in a can, but trust me, it is better than anything you can get in a can. So cut that all off. It's already got salt and pepper on it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's in my way. And you throw that in, what to say, with everything else. For this recipe, I'm using about I'm using exactly 3 cobs of corn. Another reason for using the corn is because it's going to add a touch of sweet to the whole thing. Well, that was a mess. Shit. I need to get a dog. So it's going to add a texture, and it's going to add a touch of sweet to the thing. It's really good. And it's just another nummy, albeit starchy vegetable to add to your delicious cake. We're calling it cake, period. The regret part comes in a few minutes while this is cooking. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Did I stop it? Are you still filming? Shit. Oh. Okay, my friends. I've cut that corn. That's all in here. To this little concoction, I've added a pinch of salt. I may have showed you that before. And about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. You must trust me on this. To this, I'm going to add half of a carton, because this is what I have left, of heavy whipping cream. Pretend I haven't done that. Mix that up. By the way, I have my oven going, preheating right now to 400 degrees. So that's the next step. Okay, after we put in the heavy whipping cream, you can also use buttermilk. You can also use regular milk or oat milk or almond milk. I don't give a shit. Something wet. Something wet. To that, I forgot to take this out. I'm so organized. Wait. A couple of eggs. Let's go. See if I can do this. Look at that. You impressed? I bet I can do a lefty. Not bad. 2 eggs. The original recipe of this called for like 7 eggs, and I just thought that was excessive. So as I've been refining this recipe and kind of making it my own way, I got down to 2 eggs. I don't know why, but I did. And also about a cup and a half of flour, along with 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Again, not the one you use to clean your refrigerator and take odors out. This is the other one. Throw that in. Okay? Mix that all together with the other nummy ingredients. And if it ends up being too dry, all you do is just keep adding more liquid, whatever you want. But once you mix it up, okay, yeah, this is going to need a little more. It's too dry. So, I happen to have some buttermilk left over from the biscuits the other day. By the way, if you have not yet seen the video on the buttermilk biscuits and you haven't made those, what the fuck are you waiting for? It's like the best thing ever. All right, so we mix up this, and then after, needs more. It's not a precise science. After we've got all this stuff gunked together, gunk is not a precise baking term, but after you've mixed it all together, then we put in the cauliflower. Looks like this. Cauliflower is kind of delicate, so you want to be a little more careful when you're mixing this up. Okay. And just get it all coated together. Okay, it's boring to watch me do this, so stand by. All right, we're back now. I've got that all mixed together. To be fair, I added 1 more egg to the whole thing, so I have 3 eggs in there. You can use anywhere from 2 to 7 eggs. It's entirely up to you. 3 seem to get it to the consistency that I wanted. Now we're going to take a wonderful bundt pan and spray it with Pam for cooking or for baking. Any one of these things. Get it good and gooey. Okay? To that I add sesame seeds all around. Boom, 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 boom. Why? Because it's pretty. Okay. Then you take this concoction that we made and gently lob it into the bundt pan. I really should be drinking. I can't believe I'm doing this sober. We've got corn, we've got onions, we've got mushrooms, we've got cauliflower, we've got brown sugar, we've got salt and pepper, we've got rosemary, fresh is best, but whatever. My point, put whatever the hell you want in there. All the vegetables are previously cooked. Whoopee. We've got flour. We've got buttermilk. We've got heavy cream. Don't judge me. We've got brown sugar. Did I mention that? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I never said this was going to be low calorie. I did say there would be vegetables in it, and there are. To my sisters who are watching this, the brown sugar was a new addition today. I never did that before, but you should taste this batter. Stupid good. All right. Follow me. All right. Now we sit and wait for about an hour. It calls for, it's cooked anywhere from an hour to an hour and a few, whatever. Look at the top with a part that you can see. If it's the right color for you, then it's done. You want to touch it and have your fingers bounce back a little bit. But the last time I made this, it cooked in about an hour and 10 minutes. Stand by. And now to the reason that I called this show Cauliflower and Regret. There really is no regret about the cauliflower, but I know a lot of you are out there sheltered in place with your husbands, boyfriends, whatever. And as lovely as these men are, and I probably like them all, I'm luckier to live alone. I don't have to deal with anybody's nonsense. And I suspect even the most perfect man in the world can get on your very last nerve when you're sheltering in place with him for how many months now? I think it's going to be to the end of May. And now, a beautiful song of regret. I'm sorry, but I'm still mad at you. No, I'm sorry, but I'm still mad at you. I'm still mad at you. Fuck, I can't believe this. Whatever. Okay, everybody. This came out of the oven just a few minutes ago. Look at that beauty. Isn't that great? Weighs about 40 pounds. And all we do is loosen it up from the sides a little. I let it cool a smidge before I started this again. Oh, I pray to God it's cooked. We're going to find out together. Loosen, loosen, loosen. It smells really good, I'll tell you that. Okay. Fingers crossed. Noisy, sorry. Overturn that sucker. Look, smell, adore. Oh, it's cooked to perfection. Cauliflower cake. No regret. So I hope you enjoyed today's little program. This is going out to my nieces, to my sisters, to everybody that I can find, because it's going to be too delicious to hoard. So, to wrap it up, weigh yourself every morning. I weighed myself this morning. I didn't gain an ounce. Eat good. Cook together. Be kind. Share everything that you have with everybody else. And most importantly, do something for somebody less fortunate than you. And we're all pretty fortunate that we have the interweb and we can watch these videos and cook food. So enjoy. Thank you, my darlings. Go to my channel, like and subscribe. Fuck me, I turned into one of those people. I'll see you tomorrow. Bon appetit. Oh my God. It held up. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Don't judge me.
See you tomorrow.